Hello everybody, it is I, U2Cool back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing Lenticular Bob Cutlass and Lenticular Darrel Cartrip. Now you're probably wondering why I'm reviewing two cards in one video. That's not something I usually do, and there's a reason for that. I decided to double check when these two were released, and as it turns out, both of these guys were exclusive to a Lenticular gift pack all the way back in 2010. These guys were only ever given 2010 Lenticular variant, so these are the looking side-to-side versions. And what's interesting is I'd thought Darrel had a single, and he was supposed to, but that ended up going unreleased. So, yeah, this was the only way you could get Bob and Darrel in the 2010 Lenticular line, which I think was the main line. So, like, yeah, Bob and Darrel were exclusive to a 3-pack of all things, which is kind of crazy to think about. Darrel, of course, was re-released this year. Bob Cutlass, though, unfortunately, hasn't seen the light of day since 2017, pre-Cars 3, that is. Although that was technically Bob with microphone, so if you count that as a separate variant, then his actual last release was 2014? 2014, that is a long time ago. That is over a decade old. That is genuinely shocking. I really hope Bob Cutlass comes back at some point. It is just insane to me that he has not come back yet. I think I'll start with Bob because he's a lot, more simple. He is just a metallic, sort of dark brown, very gray car. He doesn't suffer the 4 eyes syndrome that a lot of lenticulars do, where you can see the second set of eyes. Like, you can kind of see it a little bit, but it's not, like, distracting. I think people really over-glorify, like, over-exaggerate the situation where you can see the lenticular's other set of eyes. At least it's not as bad on camera. Bob, of course, is played by Bob Costas, a reporter. Here's his other expression, which I think is a bit more similar to his regular diecast expression. I do like how he looks, though. Very solid diecast. I've been wanting Bob and Darrel for such a long time now because they're such iconic Cars characters and so common. Typically, I just don't go for common Cars diecasts online because they're so common. Why bother? I can wait on them. Like, I didn't need to get Bob Cutlass right that instant. Alright, here he is with the RSN license plate, Carburetor, not Carburetor County. That would be so funny if he was from Carburetor County. His backlights are just a solid red, unfortunately. That's not very accurate, but, beggars can't be choosers. Did you guys know Bob had a color changer that was red? Yeah, he went from brown to red, and that actually got repaint. That ended up showing up in Cars 2. There's a red Bob Cutlass in Cars 2. Here is a look at the base. So crazy to me that Lenticular Bob and Darrel are both exclusive to a 3-pack. In case you're wondering who the third car was, it's just Race Official Tom. Just Race Official Tom. Just the Lenticular version. He got a single, so it wasn't a Lenticular Fred situation where it was all 3 cars at once. Next up is Darrel. Darrel is interesting because I wanted my first Darrel to be the one with the Cars 2 expression. Darrel got a re-release for Cars 2 since, of course, he appears in Cars 2, but he had a different expression, and I ended up liking that version so much that I wanted to get that one. But this lot that I got as a gift for a friend came first, so, yeah. Darrel is still a cool character, though, and I'm fine with having this lenticular one, but I do hope to get the Cars 2 Darrel, which I do still have a chance of getting since he did come with some cars that I don't have, such as Brent Mustang Burger, and there was this 7-pack with Professor Z and Frank Clutcherson. I think that's what people know it as, the Frank Clutcherson pack. That's where he first came from. So yeah, there is Darrel. His eyes are a little far apart, which I guess fits him, but I don't know. It's not as good as... I don't think his expressions are quite as good as Bob's. He has the iconic flames. He's, of course, Darrell Waltrip. He's based on one of Darrell Waltrip's cars that he used to drive. Funny thing is that he did receive a single in the lenticular style packaging, but that was the metallic version of Darrel. That's right, they made a metallic version of a card that looks pretty shiny next to Bob Cutlass here. They're both really shiny cars. Lightyear text, number 17. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Of course, that's his iconic catchphrase. Boogity, 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 boys. Let's go racing. dwstore.com. My friend Ty has the Thailand version of Darrel Cartrip, so when he uploads that, please check it out. I'm really excited for his review of Darrel, because Darrel's always just a fun character to see get covered. You know, I like that even characters that are pretty common and sometimes oversaturated, like Darrel Cartrip, seriously, he was peg warming in my stores. But I love that he still instills like joy in you know, people's minds, because Darrel is just such a fun and likable character, and I'm so happy to finally have Bob and Darrel in my collection, even if they're lenticulars, even if they're a little scuffed, especially Darrel. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It was recently Thanksgiving where I'm at, so, you know, it's the season of being thankful for what you have and appreciating those around you. I think that that's important, just to step back and be like, yeah, I can accept that. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about Bob and Darrel. Again, Darrel is out this year, so this, the lenticular version is made in China, the new one is Thailand, so there might be some differences, but, yeah, for the most part, I think I did a good job covering Bob and Darrel. I hope you all enjoyed the review, and I will see you all around. Bye-bye!